Welcome back, everybody, to the Quake Pro League. We move on to our fourth game of the night, and it should be an exciting affair. Whaz taking on psygib.
Yeah, absolutely. Do love watching these players. They go back a long way for me back in team modes. Seeing them come to all their successes in duel as well is a beautiful story from them. But now they're being able to combine their crazy movement, their crazy mechanics with the duel mindset. It's safe to say that psygib has been one of the more successful in this domain, which I wouldn't really know how to predict earlier on, but it's amazing to see someone like psygib show such a broad set of skills. I think Whaz himself growing into that a little bit, but he's got so many little nuances to his style that when the planets align, this guy looks like some sort of Super Saiyan, and he can make any player look really mediocre.
Well, see, that's the thing about Whaz. There's always a lot of excitement, obviously, between all of us here that have commentated the Quake Pro League. Every time I say, what do you think of Whaz? Everyone's pumped. Everyone likes to see him. Everyone enjoys watching him on the server. But what do we need to see? What's that missing piece that kind of, maybe say, isn't the final cog coming out?
He's definitely an example of a player who, if he's not hitting the crucial shots, he would positionally overextend himself. But the thing is, if he hits his shots, and sometimes it is as straightforward as that, he's just a god, an absolute god. This guy has won tournaments in his own right, been part of championship winning teams in CTF. Used to love watching this guy playing in attack and in mid positions, but now it's like when he hasn't got the team behind him to rally him on, he needs to be held responsible for all the strong things he does, but also all the mistakes. So hold himself accountable, keep the hard work plugging away, and he's someone with the right level of discipline applied. He can make a sort of crazy style still work for him.
Great to see it coming out. Return of the Razzle Dazzle, hopefully.
Yes.
It is going to be a hard matchup, though, taking on his opponent in psygib. We had a few words from the main man, and now we get to see some of him in action as well. You love a bit of psygib, didn't you?
I absolutely adore this player. This guy is probably my favorite player from the Americas just because of his raw mechanics, and he seems so docile sometimes, but when he just switches that little trigger or, I don't know, button in his head, he decides to flick it on. Sometimes you just see the most absurd stuff. So, yeah, big fan of him. Always hoping for more successes. But maybe sometimes, again, just the tiniest level of off discipline, and it's to a very different degree to Whaz. It's just at those crucial moments, if he just makes a tiny little alteration of a decision, then suddenly he changes from like someone who's up and coming to someone who's actually really threatening to hang, and even Rafa.
Yeah, absolutely ascend at that point. I think the thing is, his backing track there, very industrial, very metal, very heavy, and that translates into his style of play as well. He is commanding. He's confident as ever.
No, exactly. And I think in this series now, I don't know if psygib's going to come out the gates guns blazing. Whaz probably will, but I think as psygib goes through the grind with the control, trying to play something a little more sort of formal duel where everyone's got British stiff upper lip. You take the item, no you, and then eventually it just descends into chaos, and then I think psygib's really going to relish the moment.
Hopefully.
That's how I duel, at least, guys.
He'll be a saucy little boy on the server. But let's have a look. I want to know who we are going to have coming out today. What will the picks and bans be?
Let's take a look.
What maps? What champs? What are we seeing? Oh, already the Strog's out.
Strog out straight away. Got the Doom, solid pick for Whaz up on Awoken. Strog is not a bad pick in itself. Nice to see psygib wielding that. We're getting the Scale Bearer ban. I think that might even be a respect scale ban at the same time. Whaz with Galena, very steady champion pick, up against the Ranger. Can actually go either way. And then Molten Falls, a classic Nyx Visor matchup. Expecting maybe a slightly slower game on Molten, not just because of the map, but the champions, you just want to be a little cautious with each other occasionally. But I'm still favoring psygib, and I think to the same degree that Mark psygib is 10th and Whaz is 19th. Despite that, we've got to point out that Whaz really needs to W here. He needs like a 3-0. I'm pretty sure he needs a 3-0 in order to not be up for relegation.
And it's going to be such a hard task. That's what is worrying. That's a stark contrast, right? psygib, he's sitting pretty. No matter what, 10th place global, you're fine. You don't need to worry about that. That can be in the back of your mind. All you're thinking about is climbing, is ascending higher, whereas for Whaz, it's a matter of survival. It's a matter of, I know I'm in relegation, but can I get myself an easier time? Am I going to be left really struggling when we get to Poland?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, he will have a bit of a target on his head too, because if it's the same system as before, if you qualify over a person with X amount of points, you will take their points.
Yeah.
So Whaz has got more points than Genic, so maybe Sib or Zeniku's looking at, ooh, wouldn't mind me some of that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're headhunting and you want a better position to start into, right, it would be the smart decision to make if that is still the way it's going to work.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. We can't be sure, guys. But what we can be sure is the game is beginning. GLHF Dorg. There's the chaps.
That's right, no frags missed. Just teasing you, getting you excited.
Don't tell me now.
No, they've been put away. psygib nearly being put away as well. Ooh, gliding through the air quite gracefully there. He got some serious air.
psygib needs to get out of there a little bit. He's just heard the bounce pad, so he's actually got space. He's fearing that Whaz might go for the sort of double item play, but it's not the case. Now, uh-oh, he's got to keep him away somehow. Whaz just pushes himself through the teleporter. He could have just knocked psygib out, but was not willing to take the risk. At the point where Whaz is going to enter full discipline mode, that was not the point that I was expected at. psygib is definitely in dangerous territory at the moment. Yeah. Squeaky bum time.
Oh, it is indeed. The major items are going to be traded as they'll be picked up one apiece, although for psygib, this isn't ideal. Gets tagged back down, losing a vast majority of his stack there. Does he realise Whaz was waiting on the corner, lurking around, trying to play with the audio cues, busts out the tri-bolt, trying to punish, but none of it's connecting. That'll be a beautiful connection though, Zoot, and there's the follow-up as well. Whaz, low as heck.
psygib goes from big disadvantage to hitting 2 rails and then suddenly being the chieftain on the map. He might even be able to get 2 major items, which is going to be a huge win for him. Going off the bounce pad's not even a bad idea, just to really fight Whaz off of the item completely. And he knows exactly where he is. His ammunition's a little bit low. He's checking the ceiling too. We know that Juan was doing that before. It's an important thing to, you know, to complete. I think you get an achievement for it.
I hope so.
Whaz is low, is the important thing. And psygib needs to go hunt him.
psygib. He is starting to use that speed to his advantage now. Going on the hunt. Does have the read. Knows his location. Good little opener. Lands the tag. And now starts to really deep dive into this one. He's on the hunt. He knows exactly where Whaz is, but he just can't catch up with him. The Pika's going to give him a little bit more information. Will get taken down. And it's really been a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, psygib's big window of opportunity to open up has kind of gone. Now it gets a little harder. If he's landing the shots, then fine. Is this going to be the moment? Is he going to leave the heavy up? He knows where he's gone. Whaz is going to try to get the turn on him, but he's so low. It just takes a blip of LG, and psygib eventually opens up the taps.
Oh.
There's a hello and no from Whaz.
Yeah, knocks on the door. Suet was really didn't fancy it. That's a good connection though. This is where the railgun is starting to come out full for psygib with 2 big connections, and there's the takedown. He'll tackle him with a lightning.
Brilliant weapon selection as well. You can really easily fall into the trap of, oh, I'm hitting rails, man. I want to hit more rails. But he finishes it with the LG. I think that's the kind of level of discipline we want. psygib, if you give it like 5 minutes and he's doing well, he wouldn't do that. He would go for the triple rail. Oh, the rocket. That hurts. There is the heavy up in a few seconds. Whaz is actually chasing. Pika around the corner is a big play at the moment. So I think you can send the Pika... Can you send the Pika through the hole in the wall? I want to say... No, I think you can send the turret through. I don't know, I might be making stuff up.
I feel like you'd be able to fit. It is quite a big hole.
Whaz has made up a kill though. He's done alright there. He is low, but the Mega comes in time, and Whaz can start to be a small threat.
One that could potentially begin to nip at his heels. Looks for the peek across. There is going to be a face from psygib, but he won't take any damage for his risky maneuver. He's just going to be holding for now. Wants control of the Mega once it spawns back in, but that means he has to concede this heavy, which re-bolsters the stack of Whaz. Close proximity, he's going to turn the corner. Takes a little bit of a tag, but it's not going to stop him. He's just going to hold. No real overcommit just yet.
Yep, psygib going full passive now. He wants to see Whaz from a distance. Hello. Shoulder peeking at each other. Sort of flirting.
One rail left as well. He's got to make that rail count, Zoo.
We haven't had a Tox click in a while, though, to be honest. And we're not going to get one again, so no jinx. psygib's just on the run. He seems very happy, just kind of not really being on the map entirely. Now, Whaz doesn't get his jump to work. He knows he had a 100% certainty of getting that heavy. psygib, he does hit this rail or two here and there, and it really keeps him in contest. Because otherwise, if these are free items and it's only Whaz doing the damage, then suddenly the map gets really small for psygib, and the hiding places get sparse. psygib's been super evasive. Is he going to run into him now? There's a chance for the kill. LG rockets instead, and it is eventually going to tie things up. psygib's been so passive, playing off the items, just looking for damage. It's about time, really. And psygib's decided to counteract that with a little bit of homemade aggression. It didn't work, though. Wrong recipe.
Nearly 7 minutes have gone by. Actually quite a calm one, really, in terms of the overall frags. It's been everyone just going for maneuvers they know they can 100% get a frag on, not really taking many risks. That was graceful, though. That was really nice.
I think Whaz is playing this just kind of comfortable at the moment. He's not overextending. He's doing well in the control. Getting that connected position. There's a lot you can do from anchoring here. psygib's been down in the HMG area a lot. Not that it's given him anything specifically, but he's happy to take those hidey spots. A bit early for the Mega Health, just passing by.
Bit of a tag there. psygib now beginning to get whittled down fairly low as Whaz will connect a couple of shots off the back of the rail. Still got 2 more to fire out before things get a little bit hairy. He puts himself back up on the ledge. The pre-fire with the rocket is phenomenal. Oh, straight in. Is he going to be able to take the kill? The Pika will slow him down. He's just got to peer over.
Oh.
He won't even need to. The rocket will do the work for him.
So psygib needs to find a way into control now. He's actually going to win over to the heavy, so he's actually done that. His weapons are limited, but he's just got himself onto the railgun. He needs to sort of miraculously hit like a direct, otherwise, yeah, this is an easy challenge. Okay, too far, Whaz. Way too far. You did not need to press forward. All you needed was the Mega Health. And Whaz, just at the first moment in a while, decides, you know what, he's going to let his hair down. It was the wrong play for him. Heavy will be up for psygib. Suddenly this game gets pretty interesting.
Yeah, this is where there's a potential for a massive comeback into the game for psygib now. There's still enough time for him to begin to pop off and start to climb his way back up. He just needs to find that opening frag to begin this reign of terror. He's got firepower to play with, he's got all the weapons in his arsenal, and he's using that mobility to his advantage. Good ears as well. Spots him out based off the audio cue, starts to deal damage as he's ripping his way through him. psygib, worse for wear, gets incredibly low, but keeps Whaz on the move. He just needs to find the connection here with the rail, but he can't land it, Zoo.
Oh, the rocket! Perfect read. psygib rushing it, hoping for the best. It does not manifest itself correctly. psygib's just trying to punch out whatever he can. He hasn't got his ability available, and Whaz is kind of missing a couple of shots, so there is a chance. psygib just needs to go, go, go. He's got no time to waste. Has to meet him over at LG. He's going to do that. Rockets aren't too bad at all. psygib with 1 health left. He's good to go. You've got to get back into the arena, man. There's no rest for the wicked. And, well, maybe Whaz will try and put him to rest.
Yeah, it seems like it. At this point, it's 7-4. There's 10 seconds left in the game, pretty much, and it's not looking like there's going to be much that can be done from psygib. The Wazzle Dazzle is on full force as he'll shut the game down with an 8th and final frag off the back of his railgun.
That's the GG. There we go. psygib gonna have to step it up a little bit, moving into map 2. And let's take a look at once again what we get. It is the Blood Run next, where we get the Ranger versus Galena. psygib wielding the Ranger. And, well, he'll need to make a little bit of a chop and change there. Whaz was very strong, though. He actually seemed reserved. I was expecting him to be a bit more guns blazing. There was that one blip where he pushed to the corner towards rail, and I was like, that's the wrong move to make. But otherwise was spectacularly strong. And actually, psygib, if anything, got a little bit nervous. He was a little bit scared and cautious of what he should be doing. Played off the items. He was a frag in front. You can't play like that when you've only got that small advantage. Unless you've got some crazy, like, old meta matchup like Clutch versus, I don't know, Galena on Blood Run, when Clutch is just a frag up. It's not going to work like that here.
No, not at all. And it didn't work out in that fashion.
I do think that Doom is a better pick on this map too.
It's that extra mobility. It just seems so useful in some of the jumps that it can actually pull off here on Awoken.
It's exactly the jumps. Although Strog's got some nice movement around the corners and so on, being able to deal with the gaps effortlessly is super, super useful. Rocket.
I mean, it's the verticality, though. Like, Strog's way more useful, obviously, when you need those quick turns, but when there's so much verticality, which there is on Awoken, I think that jump just really does pay dividends. That's the overcommit you were talking about as well.
Yeah. And psygib, he had some chances to get the job done, but he just was a couple of steps behind. But again, if he's chasing up the points of the others, being 10th on the world ranking, it's not a bad spot to be in, as you say, comfortable. But you've got someone like psygib is, you know, he doesn't really need to worry. He can't go for top 4, and he can't be up for relegation. At the moment, Whaz is playing for his life, because he knows he needs that 3-0, otherwise he has to play that nerve-wracking game. And even if he gets the 3-0, he's not even guaranteed still to get out of the relegation. So he's just doing whatever he can. And as long as it's not in his hands, and his future is elsewhere, then he knows he at least did the best he possibly could.
Yeah, it's like the last chance saloon to gain any kind of edge going into Poland, because right now his back's already up against the wall. He can only get in a better position from here.
But we'll see if he can continue. I'm kind of rooting for Whaz, actually. Like, if he can pull off a 3-0 versus psygib, going from 19th on the world ranking to 20th, that's... should get bonus points for that. Should get 50 points.
Oh, yeah. We'll throw some in.
A little point lottery.
Is that the postcode?
A raffle. A raffle dazzle. Never mind.
A raffle dazzle.
God damn it.
Ooh, well, look at this. We're already off to a bit of a scrap to open this one up, as the snowballs are being chucked right at his face. My favourite. If someone does that in the schoolyard, by the way, I'll be really upset. You putting rocks in the snowballs? No, definitely not. Do I look like someone who does that? Absolutely. No, I play by the rules. And I will tell on you if you do it. That's the type of person I am. Please don't tell the teacher. I will. I'll do that. I will tattletale. Oh, that's a nice little... Look at the confidence. He went for a re-peek there. I mean, I think he knows that he needs to have more confidence than he had previously. Because he just spent a lot of time running away from Whaz, and someone of his caliber shouldn't have to do that. This guy's got unbelievable mechanical skill. Obviously, he respects Whaz, and these guys will have played with each other or against each other in the server over and over again over probably more than a decade. So understanding how Whaz likes to fight is, yeah, probably a big part of it. Yeah. Well,
he still used an orb for that, though.
Yeah, did force it out. At least he got the heavy, and you know what? It pays off getting the frag in the end. It's not going to matter too much. Could have been a bit awkward if he wasn't able to find that.
Well, now his stack is very similar to that of Whaz's. There's a little drop down. Just painting the walls a bit. Got nails for days, mate. Oh my god, is he going to get it? Still just about. That was, again, ridiculously close.
Yikes.
And I like that he's taking a break off going towards the heavy. That could have been kind of dangerous. He needs to back away once again. And that 25 by Rocket before he decides to peek at all. But he successfully gets a rail shot off. He goes in! That's a bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy, psygib. I mean, I like it, but it didn't work.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, but that did seem like quite a fast overcommit. Luckily enough, though, straight back into the fray, and he is going to be fragging out as he finds the response onto Whaz, brings it up to a 3-to-1 tally now, tapped down to just 19 HP.
That was bloody close.
That's outrageous.
You can see up on through the X-ray that there are some totems that need to be destroyed. This is mad to re-peek. Oh my god. But Whaz is also just staying out there. He gets himself on the mega health. And I think that totem up a power-up, psygib never actually... Oh my god, it was on the floor and Whaz walked over it like a doormat.
Lightning gun coming out, starting to punish as he is going to do a fair bit of damage across. psygib half his way through his stack. Here comes the reinitiation. Rocket down, chunking him heavily. Whaz, how is he even still alive? The pre-fire with the lightning gun will zap him to bits, and he will finally go down. Really chasing quite aggressively now. psygib. Confidence is back, and it very well should be. He's got a 4-frag lead. That's going to be the heavy claimed once more as well. Gets the telegraph location of Whaz from the lightning gun that's going to be beaming up right above, showing his location. All of his totems have just been evicted from their little home, and this is getting scary, Zoo.
Well, this is exactly what psygib needed to do beforehand. Whaz is going to try and come close. He doesn't get the item, and again, it's asking for so much as someone who's got a full catalogue of weaponry. This is a difficult challenge to make. Whaz is going to get a heavy now, so if he can arm himself, there's a chance for a comeback. But it's really difficult. This is a big, big lead to have. This should be a kill. Whaz rushing up the stairwell. There's still 4 frags to chase on this map. If psygib decides to calm down a little bit, he can hold on to this. But he's not calming down. The frags are leaking.
Again, everywhere. He needs to call a plumber. Whaz. Oh, straight back through. Fires off with the super shotgun, looking to try and do a ton of burst damage. The miss on the heavy. He didn't get it. He drops down into the arena. Both of them so incredibly low. The shotgun is on parade, but it is going to be the rail from psygib. Oh, that's sickening.
That was a really sick spam peek rail around the corner too. There was no waiting to see if your opponent was there. He just went for it. 10 HP, you got to clutch things out like that. And now psygib, he needs to put a little bit of a leash on this one. He was letting it get out of hand. He doesn't need to challenge for every item. It's just about staying alive. If he can build a chance to actually fight... Oh my god, what is he doing? It's unbelievable, the acrobatics we're getting from him. Is Whaz going to actually try and make it across? That would be crazy. Oh, he can rocket jump. That hurts, and the rail on the dismount. There was no rockets for him to get off otherwise. Crazy series of movements from both Whaz and psygib. And it still sees Whaz with a chance of coming back in this game.
Oh, the snipe. Blasting those toes off of Whaz, making it a little bit cheaper for him to buy shoes from now on. He's got the high ground though, looking for the dive down. Still 22 seconds till we get the respawn back up onto that mega. Heavy's just come up. He should be able to snatch it away. There's 4 minutes left to play with. They are actually fairly close as well. This frag lead could be quickly tied up. And luckily, Whaz just doesn't rush into things too headstrong, Zoo. He's playing it smart.
Oh. psygib's been so annoying with these rails though. He's been constantly pestering Whaz with him, and it's been a strong part of the game that Whaz hasn't been able to counter so easily. Just doing the rotations of the map. All the light armors on the ward. And again, another little fadeaway rail from psygib. He can just giggle to himself, knowing that he has that stack advantage. Is he going to rocket jump? That rocket jump's the big play. Genic would have done it.
Oh, he would have. 100%.
Triple totes.
Guess
There's
the
the stack.
overstack.
Yeah, and this is maybe the fuel that Whaz needs. With this LG, psygib's up on a perch. Finds a rail afterwards, but the tri-bolt, there's enough splash damage. Couldn't get what he needed. Oh, the orb follow-up. Had to be an emergency there because there was not much time left. Just realizing that the Mega spawned a couple of seconds too late. And Whaz just rushing him. Moves like that, it's still at a point where psygib can lose this lead. It's so difficult. Comebacks like this are rare. But again, possible. Anything's possible.
Hey, that could have been the opportunity that will actually give him a chance to come back into the game now. He needs to be precise, though, and he's not going to be able to. The aim from psygib, just a little bit more precise, landing so many direct connections off the back of the lightning gun. It strips Whaz of his life.
Whaz's LG was good too, though, is the thing. And I think he had a totem. I wonder if there was enough time, like I can't do the maths, but to put the totem down, heal, and keep shooting, because there's a fairly quick, like, reset when you use the ability, when you can start shooting again.
Yeah.
So, you know, cats in hindsight, etc.
Food for thought. You never know.
Ooh. Hello. He's just being a bit more evasive now. Oh, hello. Whaz does go a little bit nuts there. But that's exactly what he needs to do if he wants a chance.
psygib. Going to be holding his own for the meantime around the corner, but here comes Whaz with the shotgun out to play, chasing quite aggressively, and is riddling him with bullets. He still needs to find 4 more frags, and he has 60 seconds to do it in.
1 minute warning.
psygib was trying all these crazy rocket jumps just to try and get away a little bit with the ranger. Reminds me of seeing what Sparty was doing yesterday. That should give him an idea, a raging clue of what psygib's trying to do.
He knows where he is. He's trying to hunt him down.
He's
right
stuck!
behind him. Now he gets stuck! That means he's going to throw away that opportunity to escape and waste more time, although he's already burnt a lot of time off the clock. 30 seconds, and he still needs so many more frag suits. It's a tall order. Is he going to be the waiter to deliver it?
He's just got to go head on. He can't really dilly-dally around. Items don't matter. But at the same time, you want the items, you need them. Bump your stats up at the end, but unfortunately those stats will not include a victory on Blood Run. Can you at least bring it again within 1? I love that he's chasing for it. Oh, it just disappears. There's the magic trick for you. And that is going to be GG, guys. 10-7 for psygib. He takes a map down. We get ourselves a little tie-breaky.
Oh, yeah. That's what's scary as well, is, you know, Whaz, he came in strong on Awoken, he looked like the dominant force, and then all of a sudden, psygib, he was Awoken himself. I mean, he was just up for a scrap at every given opportunity.
Yeah, I think realizing that on Awoken, he was avoiding a scrap at every given
He
opportunity.
was playing defensive.
And he chopped things up. It suits him a lot more. On Molten, you kind of need to have a strategy a little bit in the middle. Maybe a bit closer. That was actually quite a fast blood run for what we normally see. But you need to be very picky and choosy with your situations on Molten Fall. I expect it to be a low-scoring game, but these are 2 players which could, like on Blood Run, do the total opposite. It's okay, Jackie. Your pocket square is fine and gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Just like yourself, sir.
Aww.
No, definitely a much better showing. Excited to see a return to form there, and it's good, obviously meaning we have quite a competitive third and final map on our hands. The downside is this isn't going to be a scenario where Whaz will get 16 points and attempt to get himself to a better situation. This really means, at most, the 8 points he you know, they'll give him a little bit of a nudge, but not much.
I don't know if that's enough.
I don't think
honestly.
it is, honestly.
It depends if he's playing next week. I'm not sure if he is. I actually am going to try and get confirmation on that in the break and see what the schedule might look like for it. But that's very important to know. But even speculating upon it now, it might be important to realize that if Whaz does feel like, well, now he's missed his chance to get out of relegation, is that going to serve as, you know, loosening up a bit like Genic was earlier on versus Dramis, or is he going to be maybe demotivated by it? These are the competitive struggles players everywhere go through.
I think at that point, you can't let it get to you too much. Not in a way of upsetting you and really taking your confidence as a knock. You know no matter what you're going to Poland. You know no matter what you are going to be there competing in the land to try and save your place. You know, that was in your hands the entire time. But the fact is, if you now just really go for it, as you said, let yourself off the leash a little bit, what we saw with Genic, that's probably the dream scenario for you. You shouldn't have any stress, as there isn't anything to lose. There is only positives to gain.
Yeah, I love that little clip right at the end. It's where psygib goes. Whoosh.
It is.
I think he did jazz hands while he did it as well.
Yeah,
yeah, just vanish.
Wow,
it's the best I can do. No, don't gift that.
Oh yeah, I'll put that on my fridge, mate.
You do you. You do you. Let's do the game.
All right.
Let's do the game. We've got that last one coming up. Molten Falls. Who's taking it? Who are you supporting in this?
You know what? I
just
actually,
give me
I
it
actually
straight.
think this is going to be Whaz.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think Whaz will come back in strong on this one. I reckon this is an opportunity for Whaz to actually really show up. Genuinely based off the same theory that once you get pushed that far into a corner, right, you've got to do something. You can't just accept it.
But I will still disagree violently.
No, I understand that, obviously. So
but I respect
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Let's not do dog analogies again, though, please.
Hopefully. Alright, well, let's see where it goes. Let's see who's going to be right or wrong in this one, or what will be the rhyme or reason with a Wazzle Dazzle as he looks to try and open it up initially. psygib is on the retreat.
There's a nice little bit of intel, but you may have let him know where you are from the bounce pad. And unfortunately for Whaz, he will not net any extra damage, but his stack is looking pretty damn juicy. Needs a player with their ability up. I think with Nyx, you've got to have a slightly more defensive approach, which maybe that's where Whaz benefits a little bit. Did he like slide or grind along the ledge? That looks really crazy. I might be hallucinating. Note, but.
I'm not sure. I'm starstruck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the ring out. No. Oh, straight into the Ghost Warp. Piercing Sight going to be coming through. Looks to punish.
Wow, that was pretty damn close. psygib was up against it there. Direct rocket would have had him lights out. But he's going to get away a bit. And he's running out of weaponry. But Whaz realizing he really needs the rail to play that long-range game. And Splash just keeps on connecting.
Big tags coming out. Knocking him for 6. psygib biding his time. Light armor comes in. Misses it the first, but we'll grab it on the second, although pays the price for it. Little love tap comes across from Whaz.
That's really useful information because it means he knows he can get the heavy now. So he'll take that every day of the week. And he just saw that the piercing sight goggles were put up by Whaz. He has got to watch out at the moment. Yeah, he's just going to get out of sight as soon as he can. Still railable. This light has just spawned, I think. Did it spawn? No, it didn't spawn. That was the rail. Don't go off Rafa's edge. Please be careful. He has got perfect timing of the items now. But Whaz's stack is near enough perfect. At this point, that is the trump card. He heard him moving around, so he knows roughly where he is. And Whaz is delaying quite a lot on the Mega Health. So if he goes for Mega now, he's not going to be able to get himself back to Heavy in time. Which means extra health and armor, or armor at least, for psygib. So that's great news for him. Ghostwalk if he wants to get out a little bit. He hits the direct too. I think he's going to go in the chase. Oh, there's the direct rocket. just didn't work out for us. I think he overthought the item over at the Mega Health, was playing off of it, ended up synchronizing them, and psygib was like, well, hey, I get the resources that I've been begging for, and everything's golden. Just committing a long way for this, almost a rail at the backside. Ooh, he still needs to get out. His health is too fickle.
Yeah, better now, as he'll be able to find himself the heavy, but he does still need those bubbles to try and replenish somewhat of his HP. If he actually holds this angle, he could do a filthy amount of damage with the rail. Ooh. Both shots connect. Whaz! Wow, down and out as he slips down the stairs.
Rails are on for psygib. That's 4 in a row now. And again, getting a nice little freebie there. Nails, 5 in a row. This is a hard rail to hit. I'll forgive him for that one. That would have been absolutely sick. It already was sick hitting the 5 in a row. But Whaz is in a really important spot. He's managed to secure himself a couple of major items in a row. Oh, he almost managed to get up onto the ledge, and there's no ghost walk at all. Whaz being pushed down yet again. The light armor was taken by psygib. He should be able to get himself on a 25. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's close. The drop down heavy gets taken by psygib, but he misses the shotgun blast. Whaz is on the board for a precarious amount of health and armor.
Yeah, Whaz is on the ball with a rail as well. Lovely connection. There's the follow-up as he is going to blow psygib to bits. Shuts him down. There's now 2 frags difference between them. We're coming up to the 5-minute mark, though, on our deciding map here. Whaz, he's in the driving seat now.
I would like to see Whaz using the ability once he's taken the item. Because if he uses the ability before it spawned, he's still stuck there until he has to get the Mega Health. He did not. And you see, if he had the piercing sight after he took the Mega, he would have seen where psygib was going. That's insane LG from psygib, actually.
It's really crisp and delayed reaction as well from Whaz, leaving him on the back foot slightly here. Again, gets the information through the piercing sight. Now dives in. He has to get a frag here, or else it's all going to be for nothing. Does force out the ghost walk, but does he know where he's gone?
I think Whaz realized he was going up. This is the route to heavy, and there's an invisible person on the map that I can't track. Let's let him have the item instead. Because if he starts giving up kills now, it's going to make it harder and harder and harder to come back. At this point, with 4 minutes to go, there's still a definite possibility he can make this happen. But even if he takes a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get into the control that he's content with, that's fine. Although it is super tricky to make a comeback versus the Nyx. It's better to take your time than to rush into it and fail early.
Rails out. Not going to be able to punish though and take him down. He's going to get pepper sprayed up. Whaz, 9 HP. A little bit overkill, but the railgun will rip him a new one as it bursts him into pieces. psygib looking confident as ever here.
Okay, so, he's got the ghost walk. He could have ghost walked onto the item in time, but this isn't a bad way either. Rail does get out away just in time. There is a small chase. Gets off the angle. Oh my god, the spam shots. psygib holding on to the ghost walk.
Look at the big brain on this man.
There he is. Not available. Now we're a little happier with life. He's a direct. Ghost walk's not a bad idea. There we go. Escape with good stack. Defend from a strong position around Mega, even though it's up super early. There's the good switch of the weapons. It's a mutual frag in the end, which is a good play for Whaz being able to secure that. But it's what can he secure with this item? There's weapons galore here. And psygib's got to get out of here. There's such a good chance that he can bring a frag closer. He's got to push this. Oh. Never mind, psygib pushes him and regrets his actions.
Big snap. Lovely flick, showing just how proficient he can be when you give him a rail gun. Can he overthrow though? If you can find a follow-up frag here, he'll be 1 away and be in a great spot to try and punish versus psygib. psygib on the run, however, makes it back over towards the Mega, but it's still not up for another 10 seconds.
mean, this is great progress for Whaz. The thing is that it gets stunted a little bit when he loses control, but everything's been worth it so far. But he's dropping the Mega, saying, right, you can take that, I can get heavy. And psygib is going to be happy to oblige at that point. But now the games happen over the next 20 seconds. And Whaz keeps on hitting all these crucial shots. Problem is with these synchronized items is it's so difficult now to not give one up next that he almost needed to commit to a fight before the rotation refreshed. And you can see him, but again, if he's anticipating a fight, then, you know, fine, use the piercing sight. But psygib's not going to rush at him on items. Use the piercing sight when you're able to actually start moving. I feel like there might have been a missed opportunity or two if Whaz changed the timing of when to use his ability. And psygib has just been squatting sort of in one spot. Whoa. Okay, rocket jump. Love the rocket jump, but we need to see the same kind of moves made. You can't find him. Like, where's he gone? How did he get there? psygib's over at the other side of the wall with 30 seconds to go. Jackie, time is ticking away. psygib looks like he could be the victor in a moment.
Seems like he'll be able to take this one, Zoot. There isn't much of a way back in here for Whaz, and he's not pushing his agenda. He needs to take the initiative and fight now. Waltz is straight past him. The ghost walk from psygib. The 400 IQ play. He's won it right there off the back of it.
And it's just going to appear right behind. Oh, never mind. He doesn't go through the teleporter. psygib finishes it with the LG. 7-4. psygib gets the series win after what was a difficult start. But a close one at the end. Very, very close. Just Whaz giving just a couple too many frags to a Nyx, which can make it so difficult to come back on a slow, methodical map like Molten Falls.
I mean, they kept it competitive the entire time. It's just, it really did seem like when it came down to the use of those tactical abilities, it was always the edge for psygib. The Ghost Walk was just used at the prime time each and every time. I feel like the Visor could have been used a bit better.
That was really it. Both of their timing was very good. We saw some brilliant aim from both of the players, particularly Whaz when he's trying to create this comeback with the rail.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, it's absolutely possible that changing the timing of the piercing sight might not have actually had an impact, but it would have given you like that extra 10% chance that you need for, you know, suddenly you can create a new action play. And definitely one of the frags that happened over at the heavy, it would have avoided. That's 100%. He would have known exactly where psygib was then.
It's just such an influential matchup, especially when it's Nyx versus Visor. It really comes down so much to the use of those abilities because they just decide a lot of the game. It's the escape potential that you have can be negated, but unfortunately didn't work out well for the Visor fans out there. Not going to go his way today. So Whaz, he will only take one map. psygib comes back in with a 2-1 victory that I imagine he's going to be very happy with.
Unless Whaz is playing next week, he is 100% up for relegation now. That's the big caveat. So I'll get news in for that as soon as possible to see what we've got going on. But we might know both of our America's region relegation players. I got there in the end.
Indeed. Hopefully we can figure that out towards the end of the show and let you guys know, because it's an important factor, especially this late in. Obviously, week 9, one more week to go, and then we're heading on over to Katowice. It's going to be juicy.
It's going to be very juicy. And yeah, it's going to be get your guns out or get out of the Quake Pro League. Let's root for someone else. Sorry, a bit savage, but you know.
But well,
step it up.
That's the way of the Zoot. This is the way.
So what do? Moral of the story: be amazing.
Oh yeah,
at Quake.
Well, 2 more amazing players will be duking it up next as we continue on with the day. Game 5 will be Nosfer taking on Effortless, but there will be a lot of effort put in from both of them as it means a lot this late into the season. Keep it locked for the Quake Pro League when we come back in with that after the break.